It's either bad days or not so bad days. I wouldn't say that we've had a good day yet. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with. We dug these holes yesterday. There was not supposed to be any more rain, and in the middle of the night came a downpour. This fence used to be straight. Did her in. She's been down ever since. I heard something go pop. I didn't know what it was. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We have got a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of projects going on. Be sure to go down, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you can keep up with all of our fresh content, new content, see what's going on. But what we're going to be working on later today is a fencing project. This is something we need to do for a while and just haven't had time or the resources to get it done, but we've got where we can get started on it, so hopefully this will go well. But check out all of this grass out here. This is where our down lower garden spot is, but look at all that grass and how tall it is. Well, in years past, we've just been bush hogging it because we didn't have a fence up here, and we tried hot wire for a while, and that would work some, but then the animals would still get out. So we've decided to go ahead and just bite the bullet and purchase what we got to get this fence built. So this is what the plan is. Okay, so this is where the donkeys and stuff are, the old pen. We're actually going to move the fence line out to here because this is all just stuff that we have to mow and it's hard to keep up with down the ditch. And we're still going to leave this wide enough where once we put a fence on this other side, it'll be 20 foot wide or maybe 21. So that if we ever decide to move out our home, it'll be wide enough that they can do that. But this fence over here is in disrepair, which I'll show you that a little bit later. But we've had to repair it multiple times. Y'all remember when the pigs and stuff were getting out. So instead of just fixing that, since it has to be redone anyhow, I'm just going to build a new fence that's going to go this whole way and go all the way out to the road this way and then tie into our front fence. We're going to use goat fence on this side because eventually I'd like to have that on all of it, or goat and sheep wire. The front's going to be barbed wire because we plan on putting the cows in here. We may put the horses and just leave the emus in this part. Not really sure on that yet because I don't want to put so much stuff in they eat all the grass down really quick. And the other problem is we've got this beautiful garden spot here that we're going to have to fence around until it's done, and eventually we'll quit putting the garden here. Y'all know that we're working on the garden spot up on top, trying to get it set up and ready the way we want it. And so hopefully we'll get that done and we won't need this spot anymore. We're going to need a little bit more room than what we have up there because, well, it's just not quite big enough for everything that we want to do. And so we're just making do for right now and still using this one. But this will probably be the last spot. I don't know. We may end up keep using this some if we do build some sort of fence around it. Not really sure on that yet. Got a blue string strung from the top to the bottom where we want the fence to go. And I've gone through and I've marked where I want to put the post. Unfortunately, they don't make white out for paint. And so I had to put some X's where we changed the layout because it was what our plan to do is on this fence here, I'm going to bring this gate out where it actually touches up to this fence. And I'm going to have another gate along this way so that we can open that gate and this gate together to make it where we can just kind of pull off in there if we have a trailer or something where we can get into either pen here. And so to do that, we had to move this gate up and we're going to move this one actually out because otherwise we're just kind of a big spot. And then plus if you have a corner on a fence and you're trying to get something to go through, they'll get hung up in the corner and not go where you want them to go. So gates right along the fence are easiest where they don't have a corner to get hung up and turn around, which ours are not that bad because everything's pretty tame and calm. But if you have like cows or something that's not quite as tame, you run into that issue whenever you're trying to get them go where you need them to go. So I'm fixing to get things laid out. That's our alarm system. If anybody ever pulls in, they go off. We know somebody's here. They actually let us know before the cameras catch them. So really good to have. And then it's just like a chain reaction. They all start doing the exact same thing. Fixing to go get the tractor and start digging the holes. I'm not sure how much that I'll actually get to show because the girls are going to have to help me and we're just going to have to do what we have to do to get it done. And so we'll get what we can get, but who knows how that's going to go. So let me go grab them and we're going to get things started and hopefully get all these holes dug today where we can start setting posts. I'll show you what I got up here. I got several posts from Tractor Supply. They had them on sale, so I went ahead and picked those up, and I went and got some concrete this morning too, so that we'd have it to set the post. So hopefully this project goes really well and get this done and get these cows moved down and the horses and stuff where they've got some more grass. Okay, all the animals thinks it's feeding time since I'm out here on the tractor, which they do need some more hay, but I will be getting that for them whenever we're done. Good grief. I'm hoping these up here are the two worst ones, where the most rocks are, and then it'll be easier once we get down there. Slowly but surely. Whoa, a little bit more. Maybe forward just a little. Okay, that's good. Okay, so yesterday we got rained out, but this is what we got done so far. You saw the holes we dug, and last night I went ahead and set this end post and the one all the way down at the other end so I could stretch this string back out on the post and hopefully get this fence fairly straight. But check out all of these rocks. The reason you didn't see us finish digging this hole is it was such a mess with all the rocks. I was afraid it was going to take forever to get it done, so I actually just finished it off video because these two holes right here took us longer than it took us to do all the other 7. The ground down there doesn't have a lot of rocks and stuff, and so they went in really well. The other problem was, I guess our marking, maybe the string got bumped over or something, and they don't line up perfect, so I had to actually set another post down here in the middle because it came a downpour throughout the middle of the night. It filled everything, all our holes back up with water, and they weren't exactly on where the line should have lined back up, so I kind of cheated it over a little bit. And I figure since this is in 2 sections, if this section's pretty straight and the other one's pretty straight, you shouldn't be able to tell because it's maybe an inch or 2 inches off over 300 and something feet. So I don't think that you're going to be able to notice that much, and if so, oh well, we got the fence done. The main thing is it holds animals. Yes, I do like it to be straight, and I'd like for it to look nice, but if it's off just a little bit, it's not going to be the end of the world, because as the animals push on it and stuff, as you can see, this fence used to be straight, and where they've pushed on it and tore it up, it is not perfectly straight anymore. And I'm sure when we do the T-posts, they won't be either. But we're fixing to go show you how we set a few posts and hopefully get all these put in. Then we can start building our H braces and put our bracing wire on it, and then get started putting up some wire. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with. We dug these holes yesterday. There was not supposed to be any more rain, and in the middle of the night came a downpour. I mean, we got water standing everywhere. But our holes are full, so I'm going to have to try to dig all that back out, and the water will still be in there, but it'll just soak up in the concrete. Okay, first things first, we got to go ahead and clean these holes back out. I didn't clean them out yesterday because there wasn't a whole lot in them, and I wasn't expecting it to rain. So they are full of mud right now. So hopefully that will work. We're going to at least try it and see. What are you laughing about?
Why did that just sound like that?
Because it fell in water. Hold up against there. We just gotta make sure that we're less than 8 feet. Yes, because we're gonna use 8-foot 4x4s to make our bracing. So as long as we're less than that, they'll work. Oh, that's not good. We're gonna take some more out down there. Yeah, we can't quite get it level where we want it, so we're gonna have to shave out a little bit more on that other side, which I was afraid of. It's not far off, so I'm hoping just taking another inch or two will get it. That's what the problem was with our string being off a little bit the other day. Okay. Level. Okay, it looks pretty good if one of y'all come hold this. Just hold the pole, yeah. Don't squeeze or anything like that, and then just hold it still, and then I'll put some cement in there and we'll get it leveled back up. Packed in good. Just make sure you don't breathe this stuff in whenever I dump it. Oh, I just went down my boot. Oh, emu just pecked me. Let it peck you if you think that's funny. Goodness, I still have something in my boot.
Probably mud.
Huh?
Probably mud.
I don't think it's from that cement. No, emu. Okay, I got it now. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. We'll dump a little bit more in there and then hopefully that'll get it pretty solid. Okay, that's still good. There's so much water in there that normally these pack in pretty good whenever you have dry cement, just pour water on top, but we've got so much water that they're still a little squishy afterwards, and so I have to be a little more careful for a little bit and let it dry up some. Like I said, using a level like this, sometimes on these round posts, they may not be completely round, and so you'll change the angle a little bit and it'll look good one way and it's not the other. So you just gotta get it right where it's most important, which is on this side and this way, because that's where our fence is going to line up on the inside of these posts. So we want that to be the straightest. So that one's good. We're going to go get set up for the next one. Okay, this is another pretty critical post here because we're going to put a 16-foot gate in here, so we have to make sure that we've got a 16-foot opening. And we had to move our hole over a little bit because it didn't look like it was going to be quite right, but now it looks like we may have to shift it over some. So let's measure this first and see. Here, come here, girls. One of y'all. Just hold that against the post. Okay, somewhere right in there. Okay, that's fine. You can let it go. Will you grab that level? And then I'm going to see how close we are, because I may have to take some dirt out on this backside to get it where it'll level up to keep our 16-foot spacing without. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to pull this one out. Ooh, about lost tape measure down that water. I'm going to have to pull this one out, shave a little bit off the back, because to get it over far enough where it was 16, I had to cut a little more out, but I need to come back some because it's not going to level up where I've got the hole. Glad I wore boots instead of Crocs. Huh? Yeah, but you're not right in the middle of this either. Like I said, the hardest part of this fence is getting the wood post and H-braces done. Because once we do that, it'll just be a matter of putting in T-post, cutting everything off level after we get our fence up, and everything else goes fairly smooth. This is just the most tedious part. The other part will be putting up the T-posts to make sure that they're mostly straight. Will you grab that? Well, I'll grab it. You can hold this against there, and I'm gonna put this stake on the ground to... Here, hold this against that post. Down lower. You got it?
Yep.
And then this is gonna be our 16-foot mark roughly. So we're off a little bit. The gates are a little shorter than 16, so we can make that work. Okay. Yep, it's fixing to be y'all's turn to help. And like I said, this one may not be quite as critical because since it's it's the start of a new run, you may not notice it as much. Pretty good. Now I need a post holder. Yeah, just hold it real still, okay? Oh yeah, pretty good right there. I'll put some more concrete in that, and then surely we can get it to settle up good then. I try to keep my concrete at or a little bit below ground level because whenever I go to lay fence, I don't have to chisel it out or worry about whenever I mow. So this is the last post we have to put in this run. We've got one more over here we're going to put in, but oh no. I guess there's sludge on this side that I couldn't get out yet. Seems like it's always something when building a fence. It's crazy how one thing looks like it should be level, and then when you put the actual level on it, it's not. Okay, ran, got some water. Gonna put a little water in this, work it in. And then we got one more post to set, and we will be done for today on this. And then I'll show you a couple of other things we ran into along the way as well to watch out for whenever you're doing your next fencing project, because there are a few things I would do differently already, so I can't imagine what it's going to be whenever it's all said and done. And I think that's good. We're just going to leave that there to set up. We got one more to do, and this one is not full of water, just full of mud now. And on this, we're just trying to get that layer of mud out, not trying to really go deeper because we got this as deep as we want it. I think that'll be good. Get the concrete closer. Oh, are you kidding me? Guess that's one way to do it. Okay, I need a girl. Whoever's the best post holder. Just hold it like that. Oh, goodness. It's all over the place, girl. You know it? So this is the post we were looking for. The last one. At least for this stretch. Let me get this finished up and then I'll show you exactly what we're doing. Okay, so we got the last post in. This is what our plan is. This little cutout here, we've got our water meter right up here, and I wanted it outside the fence, and so I'm gonna go from here to here and then kind of cross over to here and then run the fence all the way down the stretch. Since this is a little cutout, it's hard to get wire really tight on little short pieces, so I think I'm gonna go with a board fence and then put the cattle panels on the inside of it. At least for this little segment, it'll be kind of decorative. We may put like a little flower bed or some bushes or something up here to make it look kind of nice. And then eventually we're going to get this side done, but I have to put the fence right close to where the water line and maybe phone lines are, and so I'm going to have to call one call to get them to mark that before I actually can put in that one. And it's going to run down the driveway similar to this one. We're going to leave it far enough over so if we decide to move the other high tunnel up on the hill beside this one, we've still got enough room. I think I have enough room as long as I keep it fairly close to the driveway. But the main thing is I want to make sure that the driveway has 20 foot fence to fence. That way there's room for cars to meet on it, or if we need to get anything big in, there's plenty of room to do that. And then I'm going to have to fence off the little area of the garden before I turn animals in here too. On the front fence, we've already got 3 strands of barbed wire up that we did before, and the other side has barbed wire. We're going with goat fence here, and eventually we may put goat fence there, but since it's going to be cows in here right now, it's not really that big of a deal. We're going to have to put up 3 more strands of barbed wire up there to make it a 6-strand fence, because that should keep in everything we have. And then I'm going to have to put a fence around our little garden area until it's done. I may just do it with cattle panels or something. It's not going to be anything real crazy to do, just something to keep them out. And I may just drop a couple of wood posts in and put some barbed wire around it. Not really sure on that, but I just don't want them to get in there while it's there, because eventually this will just be returned to pasture, but that's going to be a little while. And then a couple of things I'm going to show you about the post and what I would do different for the other side. Okay, so now that we got our post set, one thing that I would do differently is how I initially set it up. Initially, I pulled a line with 2 T-posts at either end to mark out where the posts go. I think, thinking ahead, I would set the 2 end posts and actually stretch the line on them before I mark the holes to dig, because some of ours, I don't know, somehow I guess with the rocks up there, we got off and we had to re-dig a couple of these holes a little farther over, which not only does it take more work, but it also takes more concrete to fill them in, and so you're actually adding to your cost when you have to do that, because the ones that actually ended up right where I needed them took about a bag of concrete. So I'd figured in a bag and a half each one just in case. There's a couple I used, I think, 2 bags on, but for the most part it was 1 to 1.5 bags per post. So the ones that were dead on, like I said, 1 bag of concrete. On one of them it didn't even take a whole bag of concrete to fill it in, so that was great on that. But one thing was the reason was because since we're running from uphill to downhill, our string was way up here, so I tied a rock on it initially to kind of drop it down like a plumb bob essentially, and then got it. But it's not perfect because it's a rock, so I think with it on the T-post I might have got off a little bit, and that's what made the holes off. And so I think I would, like I said, doing the post initially, and then also, since I've got 2 different runs, I made sure this one was straight, and then I made sure this one was straight. I still kept the string running all the way, so I know that it would still look pretty good either way. The next steps will be actually building the H-braces, but we're going to let the concrete set up for a day before we do that. We'll show you that on the next video, hopefully. And then we'll get T-post started driving in and hopefully get some wire up soon. On this, well, let me show you what the problem is. With cows and stuff, when there's tall grass on one side of the fence and shorter grass on their side, they tend to try to reach under the fence and push it up. To stop that from happening, it's going to help that this goat wire, or this goat and sheep wire, is a little bit heavier, but I'm also going to put a strand of barbed wire at the bottom. So leave down in the comments if you've built fence before and built this kind of fence. Would you put the barbed wire on first and then the goat fence up over the top of it, or would you put the goat fence up and then put the barbed wire over the top of that? I'm just trying to think about ease of stretching and all that, where I'm not going to be in a tangled up mess. I'm thinking maybe the barbed wire on last, just because I think it might get tangled up in the goat and sheep wire whenever I go to stretch it, but I'm not sure, because on the barbed wire I just got to wear out the little barbs. On the other, I've got a square every 4 inches, a wire every 4 inches on the squares. So let me know what you think about that. The other thing is too, since this string, like I said, the string was up high before I tied the rock on it, so I may have to put a wood post somewhere, let me look on the camera, somewhere out in there to hold it down, just to make sure. I think it'll be fine because this fence was fine after I stretched it, but if it looks like it's going to be up in the air some, I will probably put a wood post in there to kind of tie it down. And with that wood post, I'd probably put rebar in at a downward angle into the post so that it would have something where, as it's pulling up, to catch, where it wouldn't try to pull it straight out of the ground. Once it sets up, it may not be an issue, but sometimes those concrete, or the wood post can pull straight out of the concrete if you don't have rebar through it. And I didn't put rebar on these because they don't have any upward force on these here, and once you do your H braces, that pretty much solidifies them pretty good where they're good and sturdy. So we're fixing to go take care of the animals, bring you along with that. We got to put out some hay and things like that. But this is where we're at on the fencing project. We do have to clean up the bags. We're going to clean those up and burn them. That way we don't have trash blowing around all over the place. I'll put the concrete back up at my dad's so it doesn't get wet. But we're going to get that done, and we'll bring you along to take care of the animals.
Enjoying the hay.
What in this world? Okay, I'm moving the hay over here because one reason is all this hay where we've been feeding is getting really thick. I'm going to bring the tractor in here sometime with a bucket and push it all up and let it compost. I don't think I'm going to burn it. I've seen some people do that, but I think I'm just going to let it compost, and then maybe after several years we can put it on the garden or something like that, because I don't want to do it right away because it has a ton of seeds in it and that would be a mess to clean up. But we've got these guys fed. The cows are already enjoying it. We're fixing to go feed the donkey some and the cows some hay too, because everybody decided to eat it all up. So get them all fed, which is funny because these guys left the grain up there to come for the hay, so they wanted to be the first ones to get a bite of it. Isn't that right, Buggy? Isn't that right, Buggy? So cute.
Now he's going back for more.
I know. Abs, guess what? We have a slight problem.
What?
The gatekeeper was supposed to take the electric fence gate down too. They didn't. I just drove through it. I heard something go pop. I didn't know what it was. It broke the handle to it. We'll have to fix that. But
I forgot it was there.
yeah, well, yeah, it's not even turned on right now, so that's probably part of the reason. But yeah, I went through. I wouldn't think anything about it. I heard pop, and I looked. I saw the handle. I was like, oh no, I just drove through it.
Oh.
But it's not a big deal. It'll be easy enough to fix. So it's just the gate part that's messed up. So let's go ahead and we'll get out of here before they finish up and try to escape with us. And we'll go put some in the donkeys first. But I'm probably going to have you open the gate and let me go in there, because I've got that blue string for our new fence across there, okay? So let's put cameraman Izzy back on the job and let's go get some more work done.
Camera woman.
Okay, so we haven't done an update on Precious lately, but he is doing really well. I want to show you his spots. Here, watch out, Iz. I'm trying to get right in there. Look at this. He's already got his all healed up. His hair's growing back. Doing really good. His spots back here, he's got hair growing back on it.
He's already enjoying the hay.
Yeah, he does have one little spot back here it's healed, but that was like a really bad spot, but it may have scarred, so I don't know if the hair's going to grow back there. But other than that, all of his wounds are all healed up, and it's fine. He can get out if he can go under the gate. Blizzard's coming in again. We may have another emu chase on our hands. But yeah, Precious is doing really good. Like I said, he's just old. We're fixing to have to maybe get somebody to trim up his feet a little bit. They're not real bad, but I think they're probably a little longer than what I would like, since that. And then Spice, which we may just get them all trimmed up. Not all of them need it, but we'll have somebody come out and maybe everybody who needs a hoof trim can get one done. And all that. Huh?
He has a few scars on this side of his face.
Yeah, but I mean, they're all healed up. It's just scars, and then what didn't scar actually has hair growing back. A horseshoe?
Yeah.
It might have been a hoof print where he got kicked. Or a bite mark.
Oh, probably a bite mark.
I don't know, but I'm fixing to get this hay put up in the feeder for them. We're having to do things a little different because, like I said, I got the blue string across there, and plus, without any weight on the back of this tractor, as little as it is, lifting a hay bale way up in the air, it's a little light in the back end and a little, if you're not on completely level ground, it's just a little uneasy. It will do it, but it does not feel good at all. So that's why we're doing things a little bit different today. We're going to have to go in and get the cows some hay too, which I'm going to grab this last bale over here, but we have a bunch more right down there. So there you have it. That's our phase 1 of the fencing project. Like I said, we're gonna let those set up. We'll start on H braces, which will be phase 2, which hopefully will be the next video as long as the weather cooperates. We'll be showing how to do H braces, and then we've got some other new stuff going on that we're gonna show you next time too. Not gonna reveal exactly what that is yet, but all the animals are doing great. Also a future video, we're going to pull some samples from the emus and send it off to find out, to check their DNA to find out what gender they for sure are, and then we're going to see if we can't move them down the road. My fear is maybe they're all females is what the issue is, because I know part of them are, and it could be they just don't like each other and they just didn't have eggs. I don't know, but either way, I don't think they're going to have a long-term place on our farm. So many of y'all have asked about Kimberly. There hasn't really been a whole lot of updates to give. I know that, I mean, I'd like to just put something out every day, but basically it's just like it's the same thing over and over. But we do appreciate all y'all's thoughts, prayers, and comments, and pretty much it's either bad days or not so bad days. I wouldn't say that we've had a good day yet, which we knew it's going to get worse before it got better, because she'd have to actually get over the surgery pain and stuff like that. Symptoms and stuff, we'll talk about that in a future video, which he said it could be several weeks before we know anything on that. Hopefully next week we'll be doing a phone call with the doctor to kind of, there's like a 1 month kind of touch base appointment, and then a 3 month, either we will possibly fly back up there, or we can drive to Florida and do telemed, because he's got telemed privileges in Florida. He can't get them in Arkansas because the rules and laws here, it just makes it a lot harder for him to do, and it doesn't justify for one patient to go through all that mess to do that. But the thing is it's a 8.5 hour drive to Florida where we could do telemed, so we may do that, try to plan a little beach trip or something, short weekend getaway or something to do that appointment for the telemed, or we may go back up there. I don't know, it just depends on how it hits and what he thinks. If he thinks we need to come back up there, we'll go back up there. But like I said, it's just, I don't know. He was thinking that she'd be able to go back to work around 8 weeks, but at the way she's doing, I don't know that that's going to be possible. I really don't. Today she actually was able to get out a little bit. We went to church, but sitting in church for the hour we were there just about did her in. She's been down ever since. She was feeling pretty decent this morning. It was like, I'm going to give it a try and just see, since it's only an hour, but not sure that was a great idea. So that's where it is with her. Like I said, just we appreciate y'all commenting and prayers, and just keep them coming, and hopefully eventually she'll be back well, and maybe we can get her on here for an update. She wasn't really feeling up to it today, so that's what you get now. But like I said, we really appreciate y'all, and please like and subscribe and stick around for our future videos. Let us know what you think about the fencing project, anything else that's going on here, or some suggestions for some future content if you think about that. If you have any ideas that you'd like to see or like us to do, we're open to trying stuff, so let us know about that. But that's what we're going to do today. We appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you next time on Grounds Family Farm. Bye.
Peace. Bye.